Okay, so we did all of our different animations to the scene. We added some rain, a rain layer to give it that rain effect. And we did that with an adjustment layer. Well, I can also do other adjustment layers. So I'm on my rain effect here, layer. I can make a new layer, new adjustment layer. So it gives you a blank layer that you can add effects to. So all kinds of effects I can add. You can experiment with tons of these, blur and sharpen, keying, some of those simulations. You can even experiment with some of these stylized effects if you want. It gives it everything a slightly different look. If I had audio, I can affect the audio. I can also do some of these basic color corrections or even distort. I can distort things, sort of like in Photoshop. Do color corrections. Now there's some of your basic ones and more advanced ones. I'm just going to do a basic brightness contrast. I encourage you can experiment with any of these. I'm going to do the brightness contrast. Okay. So with that brightness and contrast layer, I'm on frame 1. I'm going to darken everything down. From 0 to negative 150. And that contrast, let's leave that alone actually. I'll leave that at 0. Okay, so I got it's pretty dark starting out there. What I want to do is start from that dark and just lighten it up pretty fast. Within like the first second, I want to lighten it up. So down here in that adjustment layer, I'm going to right click, rename it darkness, good enough. Okay, I'm going to open that layer on that effects. And you can see that the same effects are down here. So I could adjust them up here or down here. In my frame 1, I'm going to animate them down here. I'm going to click on that brightness. And I'm coming in here to like just over the 1 second point. And I'm going to bring that back up to 0. Your starting point. So it's just your base. I'm not affecting it at all at this point. Okay. There we are. So I'm doing a fade in from dark to the regular size. So I think I'm going to make that come in, lighten up a little bit faster. Maybe half a second. Yeah, so quickly sort of fades in. I could do that with a solid too. I can make a solid shape and fade that in if I want. I'm just showing you how you can do some basic adjustments here. In the last few seconds, I'm going to do the same thing. Just put some change there, and it'll give me a keyframe. Then when I get to the end, I can bring that brightness and contrast, or that brightness all the way back down. There we are. So just showing you some more adjustment layers you can do. We did one with the rain, do some with the color effects, and any of the other effects. I'm going to do one more. Make a new layer. This one, I'm going to do a photo filter. Okay, and I'm going to select sepia tone. So I want to have sort of an old film or old movie poster feel, old black and white photo. So I'm going to raise that up, sort of that sepia tone effect. A little too strong. Looks pretty good. Save. There we are. I could animate that in too, but I want that to be there the whole time, so I'm not even going to animate that in. Pretty cool effect. I think that this video's done. Make sure it's saved. I can go to composition, add to render queue. In order for us to use this video, we'd have to render it. So let's add it to the render queue. There we are. It's going to ask me how do I want to save this. I want to save it as comp folder and name, so to put my finished one in a new folder. So I can select that. It should automatically go to where we're saving this. Okay. Ooh, let's make sure it goes to where I am saving this. My monsters folder. That's good. Now I can click render. Now you're going to watch this green come across here. The rendering may take some time. I got a 7-second video. It may take 5 minutes depending on how many effects I have on there. I know that rain effects can sometimes render a little slower. So depending on how fast your computer is, how good your graphics card is, how much memory you have, it could go a little faster. But a couple minutes will be rendered. Then you'll have a version saved that you can adjust in your media coder to different media forms, or you could just open it in QuickTime and that'll convert it to a very usable movie file that you can upload on YouTube and everything else.